May 1973. It was a beautiful, clear Tuesday afternoon in the Isle of Wight in southern England when two children were playing near Lake Common between the Shanklin and Sandown Golf Club near the local airport. The two children were a 7-year-old girl named Faye and her friend, a little boy whose name was never revealed publicly. Everything was fine and perfectly normal that day, the children laughing and running around. Until something strange happened, causing the children to stop in their tracks. Something that would change their lives forever. The strange account of the Sandown Clown has been a source of curiosity and fascination for many over the years. A bizarre account for sure, yet made all the more mysterious due to its unique nature. As 7-year-old Faye and her friend played in the woods, a sudden and loud sound began to ring out, interrupting them, described as something similar to an ambulance siren, yet still unique all its own.
It sounded like weird wailing noises,
were the words Faye used to describe it. After being startled, curiosity overcame the children, and the two ventured further to try to find the source of the strange sound. Upon finally reaching a small meadow off to itself, the sound abruptly stopped, again prompting the children to pause before finally resigning themselves to track down the source of the noise. Certain there was some explanation to whatever it was they had heard. Their journey continued, leading them to a humble bridge of wood that ran over a brook. What they saw next would change their lives forever. As Faye and her friend attempted to cross the small bridge, they were surprised to hear a small splash in the water beside them, and looked to find a book had seemingly been accidentally dropped into the water by someone, or perhaps even something. Soon after the book began to slowly drift in the water flow, the pair then saw a hand sleeved in a blue glove emerge from under the bridge, reaching out for the book. As the book drifted away and the blue-gloved hand struggled to catch good hold of it, the rest of the hand's owner emerged out from under the bridge. The figure appeared to be of normal human shape, 2 arms and 2 legs, and a round head. However, everything else about this peculiar character was entirely abnormal. The being's head was described as oversized, shaped like a ball or sphere, and was out of proportion with its otherwise thin frame. It boasted a painted face onto the surface of its round white head. Other round markings were on its paper white cheeks, and a fringe of red hair fell onto its forehead. The creature had a pale, pure white hue to its skin, and was like the texture of paper. Its limbs had only 3 digits on each hand and foot, and whenever it stood up to its full height, it was a tall 7 feet in stature. It seemed to be wearing some type of homemade clown costume, consisting of a tall yellow pointed hat which interlocked with a red collar of its green tunic. A round black knob or bauble was affixed to the top of his hat, and a wooden antennae were attached to either side. What were described by the children later as wooden slats protruded from his long sleeves and from below his white trousers, not unlike that of a crude scarecrow. The children watched in shock at the sight of the creature fumbling to recapture his book from the stream, before turning and marching off strangely, taking lanky, hopping strides and bringing his knees up high with each step. They watched silent and unmoving as the figure made his way over towards a strange metallic hut, similar to those used at building sites. However, this one had no windows and only one small door. The children, unsure of what to make of any of it, began to turn to leave. They had made it over 50 yards away, yet still in vague eyesight of the strange metal cabin, when they looked back to find the being had reappeared from the hut, this time holding a black knobbed microphone with a white cable attached. The children, confused and somewhat unnerved, yet mystified, looked back at the bizarre clown-looking figure for a moment, before, again, the wailing noise erupted unexpectedly, this time being so loud it scared the boy, causing him to instantly begin to run away. In a quick moment, the noise stopped again, however, this time followed by a voice. The voice echoed, coming from the clown through his microphone.
Hello? Are you still there?
In response to the friendly tone and colorful appearance, the children began to cautiously approach the enticing stranger. The clown said nothing more, standing there, watching their approach in silence. Once the children were in close enough range, the clown began to communicate, but this time in writing. He wrote in a notebook in what Faye described as
In large hand.
likely meaning in all clear, capital letters. He wrote seemingly random words, all out of order from any coherent sentence. The clown held up the writing and began to point to certain words. The boy was hesitant, but Faye read each word as it was pointed to.
Hello, and I am all colors Sam. Is that your name?
No one knows for sure what this means, especially since later into the encounter, the clown claimed to have no name. It's something which still baffles any who research into the account. The children stepped closer and observed that the creature was able to talk without a microphone, though his lips did not move. His speech was mumbled and hard to understand, as if he had difficulty opening his mouth. The clown then gleefully inquired about the children themselves, so they began to ask questions of the clown too, and what he had to say was as mesmerizing as it was haunting. The children started off with simple questions, first asking about his clothes, which were all ripped. The clown explained in a muffled voice that he only had the one set of clothes. Sensing how irregular the clown was, the children then asked if he was really a man, a human. The clown chuckled, then answered clearly.
No.
The boy then asked if the clown was a ghost, to which the clown answered vaguely, as if thinking it over.
Well, not really, but I am, in an odd sort of way.
What are you then? The children pressed out of wonder and curiosity. But the answer the clown gave was strange. He answered back, only a chilling,
You know.
no further explanation was given, and the children couldn't bring themselves to question it further. Instead, the topics moved back to simple questions like, what was his name?
What's your name again?
The clown answered back that he had no name.
I have no name.
He then explained that there were others like himself, and proceeded to draw a rough sketch of one of them. Upon the children noticing two workmen nearby repairing a post, the clown seemed uneasy, though the workmen didn't seem to notice them at all. The clown then confided in the children that he was frightened of people and scared they might hurt him, stating that if he was ever attacked, he would not fight back. The interaction was odd, but the mood was getting more comfortable between the children and the clown, each as interested in learning about the other as the other. When the clown then offered them an invitation inside of his metal hut. At his invitation, the children were conflicted. The boy, unsure whether or not to venture inside the small building, but Faye's curiosity enticed her to readily accept the clown's welcoming inside. The two children crawled through a flap into his hut, which was constructed of 2 levels. The lower level was roomy and adorned with a wallpaper of blue-green, as well as a variety of dials adorning its walls. Additionally, it provided warmth thanks to an electric heater and basic wooden furniture. The upper floor, however, was more cramped, and its flooring was metallic. The clown followed the children inside, and once all three were inside of the hut, the clown removed his hat to reveal he had round white ears and sparse wisps of hair on his head. He put out a bowl of berries on the wooden table and took a seat, telling the children that he fed upon the berries which he collected in the late afternoon. He also mentioned that he would drink water from the river once he cleaned it. Before eating a berry himself, he performed what Faye merrily described as
A conjuring trick.
He placed the berry in his ear, thrust his head forward, and caused the berry to disappear and then reappear at one of his hollow triangle eyes. With another thrust of his head, the berry then appeared, peeking out from his mouth, before gobbling down the berry into the darkness inside its head. The children ended up talking to the strange being for half an hour or more, listening to his stories and watching his tricks. After a while, they knew they would need to return home before it got dark. The children bid the clown farewell, and the clown waved them off on their merry way. The kids were filled with excitement and amused by the entire odd experience. As they sprinted across the nearby golf course, they called out to the first person they saw that they had seen a ghost. Although the man dismissed their claims with a chuckle, the children were adamant that what they encountered was either an otherworldly spirit or somebody in a costume. About 3 weeks after her encounter, on June 2nd, 1973, Faye confided in her father about what she had experienced regarding the mysterious clown. Initially, he found her story hard to believe, dismissing it as childish tales of make-believe, but was astonished by her vivid description and the conviction she had when he tried to reason with her that it wasn't real. She became very upset when he suggested that she had made it up or imagined the clown. It got to the point that Faye's father became uncomfortable at how insistent his daughter was that her tale of the clown was true, insisting to get her friend to admit it was a fabricated story. Her father went to visit the boy's family and speak with him about the so-called clown. Upon confronting the boy, Faye's father was met by stony silence for a long while, before finally the boy confirmed all of what Faye had told her father, insisting that yes, it really happened, beginning to give in to the notion that perhaps at least some of what his daughter and her friend had been saying might have been true. Faye's father decided to go and see this clown and his metal hut for himself. Faye's father scoured the area, desperately searching for any sign of a metal hut, ultimately finding nothing at all, leaving Faye's father with more questions than answers. Explanations for the bizarre account of the Sandown Clown have ranged from the children's imagination running wild to a prank pulled by someone in a costume. Others speculate the options of a shared hallucination or a flat-out hoax. Some even wonder if it could have been a crazed homeless man or something from beyond. There was such an extraordinary amount of detail that there are those who firmly believe that the clown was something otherworldly, something that, much like the entire account, defies explanation. Faye's father was one of those who believed there was more to the story than met the eye. He had seen the conviction in his daughter's eyes, and he knew that she was not the type to lie or make up stories. He was convinced that there was something truly strange and unexplainable going on. Over time, as he continued his search for the metal hut and this strange clown man, he began to notice strange things happening around him. The air seemed to grow colder, and he felt as though someone was watching him. There are reports of him seeing strange lights late at night. One time, even swearing, he saw eyes looking back at him from the darkness. But when he turned to investigate, there was no one there. Regardless of whether the Sandown Clown is a prank gone wrong or something much more sinister, one thing is certain. The stories of the clown have become a source of fascination for many people, both in the town of Sandown and beyond. It has become a symbol of mystery and intrigue and has left many people wondering what really happened regarding the Sandown Clown. Whatever the truth may be, the legend of the Sandown Clown lives on to this day. Perhaps the greatest mystery of all is the fact that the clown has simply vanished without a trace. It is a reminder that sometimes the most bizarre events can happen without any explanation. It is this mystery that makes the story of the Sandown Clown so intriguing, and that is why it will remain a captivating account for years to come. For now, at least, the mystery of the Sandown Clown remains unsolved. Thank you for joining us. This has been Terror Team, and we're grateful to have you here with us. If you'd like to explore more content like this, feel free to check out our channel. We make a wide variety of videos that cover anything from paranormal, historical figures and places, behind the scenes of movies, and really anything else you could imagine. We also have the Terror Team podcast, where we talk more candidly about all these sorts of stuff too. You might want to check it out. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.